The last of the 4 different investment options that we discuss in our book, Next Gen Dollars and Cents, is annuities. Chapter 10 features an in-depth discussion of annuities and what they are. But at the end of the day, annuities are an increasingly popular financial product. In 2022, sales hit a record $310 billion going into that product, surpassing the prior annual record that was set back in 2008 by 17% in terms of total dollars invested. You know, the timing of those sales records, right, 2008 and 2022, reveals somewhat the appeal of annuities, as both of those years coincided with dramatic declines in the market. And during those dramatic declines in the market, investor fear, investor anxiety sort of rises. And so that fear factor becomes sort of a central theme of annuity advertisements during these times. And that causes investors to purchase annuities based more on emotion rather than the underlying assessment of whether the annuity actually makes sense. Because, of course, the reality is that annuities are highly complex investment product with a slew of features and fine print that people rarely understand. Far too often we find ourselves explaining sort of what the real details are to someone who unfortunately has already found their money getting invested into an annuity. So let's sort of start with the basics as we explain in chapter 10 of our new book, of our new book, Next Gen Dollars and Cents. At the end of the day, annuities are insurance contracts that offer tax-deferred growth. They offer guaranteed income streams and, of course, then some protection from market volatility. Investors certainly have a wide array of features that they can choose from when they're purchasing a particular annuity. Each of those features, though, comes with an associated cost as part of the ongoing expense. So when you look at an annuity, there are 4 distinct parties to an annuity contract. The contract owner, obviously, is the individual or entity purchasing the annuity and ultimately controls the contract, chooses the beneficiaries, and determines the payout option. The annuitant, so the second sort of party to the annuity contract, the annuitant is the individual whose life expectancy determines the annuity payments. And once you name that annuitant, which is oftentimes the same as the contract owner, but sometimes it can be different, once you name that annuitant, you cannot be changed. That sort of drives the whole process of what happens inside of the annuity. The third party to an annuity contract, of course, is the beneficiary. That's someone that you name to receive the remaining annuity benefits upon the death of the annuitant. That person, of course, is selected by the contract owner and, again, can be changed. And then the last party to an annuity contract, and maybe one of the most vital parties to the annuity contract, is, of course, the insurance company that issues out the annuity. That company is responsible for ensuring the completion of all the different contract terms that are in that annuity. And every insurance company is, of course, rated for its financial strength and ability to make and pay those claims, which helps consumers determine which annuity is best or better versus another annuity. Annuities themselves can have both life insurance features and investment-oriented features. So on the insurance side, annuities typically have a death benefit that is tied directly to the underlying investments. On the investment side, and this depends on the type of annuity, the product can generate maybe some interest or even have some sub-accounts that allow the contract owner to create a diversified portfolio inside that annuity. Now, annuities have some different tax rules that apply. First and foremost, annuities are tax-deferred products whereby the earnings are going to grow tax-free, and typically an annuity can get funded with after-tax dollars or pre-tax dollars. In our opinion, though, when you think about funding an annuity with pre-tax dollars, it's kind of duplicative. If you think about retirement funds being fully taxable when you use them, when you withdraw them, if you put it inside of an annuity, well, that's just adding tax-deferred growth features on top of already tax-deferred money. So that's, in the book, we talk about that kind of being like, wearing belt and suspenders at the same time. It's not really necessary if you think of it. For those annuities that are funded with after-tax dollars, only the growth of that is taxable, again, as you take it out. But that growth is always going to be taxable at ordinary income tax rates, which are higher than things like capital gains rates. So when we think about annuities, there's three sort of basic types of annuities. There's fixed, there's equity indexed, and there's variable. The reality is that all annuities, no matter which type you are choosing, typically include fees to surrender the account or access the money. And depending upon the annuity that you're picking, these charges can in fact be pretty significant. So fixed annuities are basically annuities that provide the contract owner with a guaranteed fixed rate of return for the period specified in that contract. Equity indexed annuities, which have exploded in popularity over the course of the past several years due to extensive marketing, and unfortunately some of that marketing is often misleading. They are essentially, equity indexed annuities are essentially fixed annuities with a rider that sort of promises or promotes that you're going to somehow participate in the market. Unfortunately, these products have pretty extensive fine print and restrictions that over time really don't produce any better returns than, say, a fixed annuity, but it just sounds like you get to participate in the market. And so a lot of dollars flow into these. Unfortunately, surrender charges on these types of products, these equity indexed annuities, can be as high as 15%. And those surrender charges ultimately can last up to 15 years. So not a particularly great option in terms of the types of annuities. The third option, of course, is a variable annuity. These types of annuities offer investment choices within the contract consisting of stocks and bonds pooled into separate subaccounts. So the overall value on a variable annuity is, of course, then determined solely based upon the underlying investment performance. In terms of annuities and their ability to generate out income for the contract owner, there's three basic ways in which to do that. First, the contract owner, of course, can take withdrawals. Those are permitted really at any time. Unfortunately, though, they may be subject to surrender charges, so you need to make sure you understand that fine print carefully. The second option is a lot of annuities these days will have different bells, whistles, and benefits or riders that allow you to take out a certain amount of money. A retirement income benefit is sort of one of the more popular ones that has to be elected at the time of initial annuity purchase and ultimately promises a particular payout that is guaranteed for the period that is specified in that annuity contract. The issue there in terms of these guaranteed retirement income benefits is that they're often advertised with effective rates of returns that aren't actually reflective of what your real rate of return is, because they count the return of your original investment in as part of that return. And that's not really, if you're getting your own money back, that's really not part of an actual rate of return. So got to be careful with particularly those guaranteed retirement income benefit riders. And then the third option in terms of getting money out of an annuity is the process of annuitizing, right? That means that you basically say to the insurance company, hey, please send me a set income stream based on my age and the current value of the annuity. And in exchange for that, you effectively give up a lot of the rights to access the underlying annuity value. Of course, one of the main issues, and in this video so far, you've heard us mention this, is that annuities have numerous underlying and layered expense, whether it's the life insurance features that are internal in the annuity, known as sort of the mortality expense. Variable annuities can have subaccounts that also have relatively high expenses. And then any of these income benefit riders typically will cost you an additional 1 to maybe even 1.5% every single year. So we sort of start to total up all of these different types of costs and layers. It's common to see that annual annuity expenses can exceed 3% or more per year. As you might well imagine, a cost of 3% per year certainly would have a significant drag on your investment results. So to be frank, if we kind of haven't delivered this message already in this video, a significant popularity part of annuities, or a significant factor that really sort of underscores the popularity of these products, is that annuities have always been recognized in the financial services industry as the highest commission product, which means then that the person that's selling it to you probably is making a bunch of money, even if they say, don't worry, it doesn't cost you anything. The reality is at some point there's always going to be a cost with it, whether that's in the form of those higher internal expenses for the road ahead or big surrender charges. There's always some fine print there. So that's one of the biggest reasons why folks like Warren Buffett, Dave Ramsey have long criticized annuities for their inferior performance and high fees. So bottom line, as we say at the end of chapter 10 on annuities in our book, Next Gen Dollars and Cents, caveat emptor when it comes to annuities. Buyer beware. Certainly our view is that annuities are not a particularly ideal investment because they really effectively lack flexibility. They deliver lower overall returns and really kind of promote overselling as a result of these excessive commissions that salespeople get paid when they sell people an annuity. The reality is that annuity sales spike in times of fear, which is never a good idea to make an investment decision based on an emotional reaction, particularly one that ties up money for a long time. Unfortunately, sales of annuities continue to go up because it really is a lot of marketing and misunderstanding around them. So chapter 10 of our book, Next Gen Dollars and Cents, contains much more detailed discussion about annuities. So be sure to check that out for more information. You can get a free copy of our book by texting free copy to 407-791-0070. That's 407-791-0070. My name is Joel Garris. I'm a certified financial planner, certified financial fiduciary at Nelson Financial Planning, and author of Next Gen Dollars and Cents. Thanks so much for watching this video.